under arrest.
It was the longest shootout in American law enforcement history.
This standoff is over.
Children trapped inside. The award-winning investigation of what really happened in Waco.
First of all, my oldest son, his name is Cyrus.
The film critics have called revealing.
I just saw the whole thing blowing up on our face and those kids dying.
Waco, the inside story.
On that Sunday morning, as the ATF prepared its raid on the Branch Davidians and their stockpile of weapons, at its headquarters in Washington, the FBI was unaware of the gathering crisis in Waco that would soon consume the Bureau. They were focused on New York, where the World Trade Center had just been bombed.
Somebody tried to blow up the World Trade Center.
5 dead, 1,000 injured.
The magnitude of the explosion.
Biggest terrorist attack in U.S.
Our
history.
guest today, William Sessions, director of the FBI.
I was eating lunch when one of the agents notified me from the command center that there was this horrible event down in, they thought, Waco, Texas.
From the command center in Washington, word was flashed to FBI agents around the country.
When I first heard about it, I was home in San Antonio reading the Sunday morning paper. Our headquarters told us that what had occurred. It was very, very sketchy, the detail.
I was rattling around getting my family ready to go to church, and the phone rings, and Jeff Jamar advised me that I needed to proceed to Waco as soon as possible.
The FBI headed to Waco, where the ATF raid had become the longest shootout in American law enforcement history.
Hello? Is this Wayne Martin? I hear gunfire. God almighty. Hello? Wayne? Tell him to pull back! What? Tell him to pull back! Are you returning fire, Wayne? Oh, shit. What's the matter?
The first FBI agents on the scene listened to frantic 911 calls
Return fire, Wayne.
between a deputy sheriff and one of the Davidians.
Wayne. If they don't back up, we're going to have to swing them off. Just remain calm. We're going to get it worked out, okay?
The gunfight had lasted nearly an hour. ATF agents had been shot and were down. So were some of the Davidians, including their leader, David Koresh.
Yes, this is Dave Koresh.
This is who, sir?
David Koresh. Mount Carmel Center, we're being shot all up out here.
Okay, where are you?
Oh, where am I? I'm at Mount Carmel Center.
Okay, hang on just a second.
All right. Yeah, this Lynch. Hey, Lynch? Yeah. This is David Koresh. Okay, David. The Notorious. What did you guys do that for? You brought a bunch of guys out here.
The FBI listened in amazement as Koresh, in the midst of a gun battle, began to preach from the Bible.
There are 7 seals. What reward did Christ receive in heaven? He received a book with 7 seals. In the prophecies, it says... Can I interrupt you for a minute? Sure. All right. We can talk theology, but right now... This is life. This is life and death. Yes, sir. Now, you need to learn Deuteronomy 32. Okay. But let me ask you this. The present situation, what ATF is wanting is to take their injured troop out of your area. Can they come now?
The ATF agents were outgunned and out of bullets. The Davidians had a .50 caliber cannon, machine guns, and more than 1 million rounds of ammunition.
Now, Wayne, they're moving the man now, so tell your people not to fire.
The FBI listened as a deputy sheriff pleaded for a ceasefire.
Get the word to them. Don't let someone fire on them. All they're doing is removing the wounded people. Please emphasize that. Get to everybody. Don't let someone start firing. Hey, Lynch. Yeah. Between you and me. Yeah. Both guys on the roof are dead. Both of them? Yeah. Almighty. Okay. Wayne, stay with them. Don't let them fire. We're complying with what you've asked. Don't let some person fire and get this started again. We've made too much progress to back up now, okay? Work with me, Wayne.
It looked like a defeated army.
Get the word to your troops. We've made too much progress to back up.
We were beaten.
One shot's gonna do it.
And it's hard for the agents to accept that.
The ATF's defeat was complete. Now Waco was the FBI's crisis. Lord knows we all think we know a lot about what happened at Waco. But 5 months ago, in the basement of a Texas law firm, we discovered the Waco files. 7,000 government photographs, wiretaps, and hundreds of hours of telephone negotiation tapes that had never been revealed to the public. Together, they provide an extraordinary inside view of the FBI's 51-day standoff at Waco and the fiery conclusion that killed 75 Branch Davidians. These files unlock the real story of the Waco standoff. What was going on inside the minds of the men whose day-by-day decisions added up to disaster?
My name is Jeff Jamar. I'm the special agent in charge of FBI operations here in Waco.
According to FBI procedure, major events like Waco are run by the highest-ranking local agent. In this case, Jeff Jamar from San Antonio.
It's J-A-M-A-R. First name's Jeff.
Jeff is a very dynamic commander. He has a very domineering management style. He's a big man. He commands a significant presence. And if he walks into the presence of somebody that has not dealt with them before, it can be very intimidating.
We've responded with necessary personnel and equipment. The one thing that we bring to it, what the FBI brings to something like that, is all of our resources. Our hostage rescue team shows up with the backing of 10,000 FBI agents and everything that comes with that, and all of our laboratory, all of our resources. And whatever I needed there, I knew I could get.
The FBI sends its elite tactical specialists, the hostage rescue team, known as the HRT. By instinct and training, they are inclined toward action.
A crime has been committed. I'm talking the murder charges. And you've got to do something about it. You cannot just let those people sit.
Sometimes known as ninjas, the HRT's job will be to surround and secure the compound, and if necessary, use force to go in and get the Davidians. They take up positions about 300 yards from the compound. 5.5 miles away, another, very different FBI team sets up shop in an airplane hangar. Their orientation is not action, but talk. They are negotiators, whose job is to build trust with the Davidians and convince them to come out.
It's like being in a submarine where you don't have access to the periscope. A windowless room where your only perception of reality is by what you hear.
The files show the negotiators quickly discovered there were 46 children inside the compound, 46 innocent bystanders, and potential shields in the event of a breakout. And so the first thing they do is try to convince Koresh to let the children go.